Okay, welcome to another Achieving Science video. This video is all about anaerobic respiration, exercise and oxygen debt. Anaerobic respiration means respiration without the presence of oxygen. This process is a process that takes place within our body when there is not enough oxygen being delivered to our cells and into our muscles. In this process of anaerobic respiration, the process produces a substance called lactic acid instead of the usual substances of carbon dioxide and water. Therefore, this can be summarized with the equation glucose produces lactic acid. So what happens? Well, during exercise, the body wants to carry out aerobic respiration. But when there isn't enough oxygen being delivered to cause the oxidation of glucose, then this process is carried out and this produces less energy and is not the preferred method. During exercise, what usually wants to happen is the body wants to deliver enough oxygen. And as the demand is increased on the body to deliver enough oxygen, the body tries to combat that to ensure that the muscles do get enough oxygen by our heart rate increasing. Therefore, the blood which is carrying our oxygen is delivered to our muscles and they are provided with the oxygen that they need. Also, our breathing rate increases in both its depth and the number of breaths that we take each second. Therefore, we're taking in more oxygen to again meet the demand. But eventually, that demand we cannot meet, or our bodies cannot meet anymore, and we need to carry out this process of anaerobic respiration instead. During an exercise, you'll also notice when we do exercise, there are other changes within our body. We begin to increase in our body temperature. And as we are breathing more heavily, the air that we breathe out contains more carbon dioxide initially because we are carrying out aerobic respiration. There's two important factors. This carbon dioxide is really important also because it changes the acidity of our blood. Carbon dioxide is acidic, therefore that encourages our blood to give up that oxygen more easily and more readily so it can provide that oxygen to the cells instead. Now, as we said, lactic acid is produced during this process. Lactic acid isn't that good for the body. The muscles don't want it. The muscles find themselves become fatigued. We call this oxygen debt. This lactic acid cannot stay within our body for long. And what is required is oxygen to break it down. So as long as we're exercising, as long as we're building up this lactic acid eventually will need to be broken down. Therefore, we're indebted. We need that oxygen after we've finished exercising to break it down, so our muscles can begin to work effectively again. That means that after exercise, we continue to breathe heavily. We continue to have our heartbeat continue to beat fast, so ensuring that oxygen is delivered. When that oxygen is delivered, what happens is the lactic acid that is built up within our body is delivered to our liver. The liver is the place where the lactic acid is broken down again into glucose. Now, the amount of oxygen that was required to break down that lactic acid is what we refer to as our oxygen debt. So the definition of oxygen debt is the amount of extra oxygen that our body needs after it's finished exercising to react with that accumulated lactic acid that is built up to remove it from our body, which it needs